Welcome to Single Ever After. Join me as I journey through the jungle of dating in search of my true love. Before we get into today's episode, I want to say this clearly. I didn't disappear because I ran out of things to say. I disappeared because I met someone, fell in love, and got engaged. And I wanted to be present for that instead of narrating it in real time. The last year wasn't quiet. It was full. And now that I've had space to live it, I'm ready to talk again. This episode isn't about being engaged though. It's about what happens around it, the quieter changes that don't come with announcements. I'm not trying to sound insightful here. I'm just naming what I've noticed as my life changed in ways I didn't expect and how growth didn't stop. It just got quieter. One thing I didn't expect in this relationship was realizing I wasn't narrating it to my friends all the time. I didn't decide to stop. It just happened. I think it was about 2 months in when I noticed it. Normally in past relationships, I would give my friends the play-by-play. Not even intentionally. It just felt natural. If something good happened, I'd share it. If something confusing happened, I'd talk it through. And if I felt unsure, I'd process it out loud. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's how I've always made sense of relationships. But this time, I noticed something different. There were moments happening in my relationship that I wasn't immediately translating into updates for anyone else. And not because I was hiding anything. It just didn't feel necessary. I remember thinking one day, I haven't talked about this in a while. And it wasn't because nothing was happening. Things were happening, conversations, decisions, small moments of connection, but they felt complete on their own. They didn't feel unfinished or confusing in a way that needed outside processing. That was new for me. In the past, narrating my relationship helped me feel grounded. It helped me check reality, get assurance, make sure I wasn't missing something. But around 2 months into this relationship, I realized I felt more settled inside the experience itself. I didn't feel the same urgency to explain what was happening in real time. And that surprised me. It wasn't about becoming private or distant from my friends. It was more like the relationship itself felt steady enough that I didn't need constant translation or validation. The moments felt complete while they were happening. And when I noticed that shift, I realized something about myself had changed, not just my relationship. I trusted my own experience more. I trusted what I was feeling without needing to immediately confirm it out loud. And that was quiet growth. There's a version of growth that's loud and obvious. And then there's the kind that only shows up in hindsight. You don't notice it while it's happening. You notice it when you don't react the way you used to. If you've ever noticed yourself responding differently and only realized it later, that's growth too. I used to think growth had to feel effortful. What I'm learning is that sometimes growth feels like less. Less checking, less urgency, less internal noise. If you've ever felt like things got quieter and you weren't sure if that meant something was missing, it might just mean something settled. There was a conversation early in my relationship about what we were each looking for, not in a dramatic, define the relationship way. Just a normal conversation about where we were in our lives. He was very clear that he wanted something serious, a long-term relationship. He wasn't uncertain about that. And I remember realizing that I wasn't in the same place yet. Not because I didn't like him, I did, but because of my past relationships. The reason I was single in the first place is because I had been trying to be more intentional about who I choose and how I move forward. So when he shared how certain he was, I felt that familiar instinct to explain myself in detail, to make sure he understood every part of my thinking so he wouldn't misunderstand me. That used to be my pattern. over explaining so the other person wouldn't feel hurt or confused. But this time, I didn't do that. I just said something simple and honest. I said I really liked him and I wanted to keep getting to know him, but I wasn't ready to say what this will become long term. And then I stopped talking. That part felt new. Normally I would keep going, adding context, adding reassurance, trying to manage how the moment felt for both of us. But I didn't. I trusted that what I said was enough. And the conversation stayed calm. He didn't panic. I didn't panic. We just kept talking like two people learning about each other. That moment stuck with me because it showed me something about my own growth. I didn't need to over-explain to be understood. I didn't need to rush clarity to keep connection. I could just be honest about where I actually was. And that honesty didn't push him away. It made the conversation more real. That felt different from my past relationships. And it felt steady. That moment stayed with me because it wasn't a big breakthrough. It was just a small change in how I showed up in a conversation. I didn't over-explain. I didn't rush clarity. I didn't try to manage the outcome. I just told the truth about where I was. And that felt steady in a way I wasn't used to. If you've ever felt the urge to explain yourself over and over so someone understands you, you're not alone. And if you've ever tried saying less and trusting that honesty is enough, you know how different that can feel. Sometimes growth looks like fewer words. When I think about the last year, falling in love, getting engaged, and changing in ways I didn't expect, the biggest shifts haven't been dramatic ones. They've been quiet moments like that. Moments where I noticed I was responding differently than I used to. Growth doesn't always look like big decisions or big changes. Sometimes it looks like not narrating everything in real time, not over-explaining, trusting your own experience, and letting things unfold without trying to control them. And I definitely was a control freak. And those changes can be easy to miss if you're only looking for dramatic transformation. But they matter. If you've ever looked back and realized you were reacting differently than you used to, that's growth too, even when it's quiet. If you're listening and wondering whether you're behind because your life doesn't look like it used to, you're not. You're becoming. And becoming doesn't always look dramatic. I'm really glad you're here, and I'll talk to you next time.